Hello and welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, Denny.
I'm the people's host.
You are the people's host, so you say. But before we get into anything, huge news. Origin teams, they've both been named. Some shocks for Queensland. Probably the biggest news of 2021 is Reece Walsh getting the fullback spot for Queensland. But before we get into any of that, we've got the beanies on, beanies for brain cancer. If you want to buy one, guys, go to the markhughesfoundation.com.au. You can get a scarf, beanie. It's a really good cause. Go check that out.
I think they're at Lowe's as well.
I think they are at Lowe's.
Yeah.
They're only $25. You can also, like I said, get a scarf. They're pretty good. They're really warm. I've been wearing mine pretty much since I bought it on Saturday. But yeah, they're really good. So go check them out, guys. Anyway,
Going to get into the teams.
So,
first off, we go with the New South Wales side. Not too many changes here. Fullback James Tedesco, wings Brian Toto and the Fox. Centers Latrell Mitchell, and Tommy Bra, with Luai and Cleary as the halves. Into the front row, Daniel Saifidi and Junior Paulo comes in for an injured Jake Trbojevic.
Yep.
So not missing too much there. Damien Cook at hooker, Cam Murray and Tarek Sims keep the back row spots with Isaiah Yeo at lock. The bench is Jack White and Angus Crichton, Payne Haas and Liam Martin.
I was that Jake Trbojevic injury come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't it?
Because he played after Origin 1.
Yeah, he backed up.
Do you think? And he played, I think he played 76 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was a training injury, but it just come out of nowhere. It just, everyone was expecting him to play on the weekend, and then he was gone. Angus Crichton, pretty safe fit there. He probably would have been in the starting squad if he was fit for game one. If he wasn't suspended for game one. So
yeah,
he pretty much solves that problem, because we were saying what's the only change you might see happening, and it's Angus Crichton come back into the team.
Yeah,
that kind of solved that a little bit. Now, the Queensland side, we thought there'd be changes. Let's just, before I even rattle off the team, let's get into Reece Walsh. The biggest news of 2021, I think, Reece Walsh will start fullback for the Queensland Maroons in Game 2. Denny, how did this happen?
Well, this happened because he's an incredibly attractive man. I think that played a part of...
Well, that's got to be a part.
Definitely. But apart from his appearance, he's a gun. Right?
Absolute gun.
So he's played 7 games. He's scored 4 tries. He kicked a goal on the weekend in probably the windiest conditions I've ever seen.
I was there. He was 1,000,000 to 1 to kick that. Seriously, he was kicking with the wind. The wind was nuts.
Yeah, I know.
Could not believe he kicked that goal. That's crazy that you even bring that up, because I was sitting there with Tori, and I'm going, he's never kicking this.
Yeah,
he's no chance.
Yeah, he kicked it, and it looked good.
It was a beautiful kick.
It looked almost as good as him. Anyway, he's got in his 7 games. He's got 8 try assists, 25 tackle breaks, 7 line breaks. He's missed a few tackles. He's missed 12 tackles, but he's
I think the majority of them would have been at 6.
Yeah,
rather
probably.
than fullback.
Yeah, definitely. He's run for 918 meters, so he's averaging 133 a game.
Oh yeah,
and he's just a real good looking bloke.
What a gun! I think he not debut like 60 odd days ago or something.
I think you put up on.
I think it was 56 yesterday, so there's 57 today. 57
Well,
days from when he debuted to when he gets named as the Queensland, not as the Queensland 14, Queensland 18th man. He's going to start fullback for Queensland. That is unbelievable. The rest of the team is as follows. We've got Reece Walsh in the number 1. Valentine Holmes and Kyle Felt retains his spot there on the wing. Kurt Capewell and Dane Gagai keep their spots in the centres. The halves are pretty standard. Cameron Munster and Daly Cherry Evans. The forward pack, in the front row, you got Christian Welsh and Josh Papali'i returns. Andrew McCulloch, interesting choice there at hooker. In the back row, Jai Arrow, Felice Kafusi, and at lock, Tino Fasua Malawi. On the bench, Ben Hunt gets his 14th spot back. Mo Fodawaker keeps his spot there. David Fafita's been demoted to the bench. Huge story. And Francis Molo will make his debut, the Cowboys front rower there. Sat near him on the plane the other day. The bloke's an animal. I can't believe he even fit in the plane. He's huge. But some talking points. Obvious talking point was Reece Walsh. Yeah. Unbelievable. Good on him. How do you reckon he'll go?
I think he'll go all right. You know what? He's in every game that he's played in so far. He's been. We've said this before. He's been one of the better players.
Yeah.
And I think he'll do well.
Definitely shocked me seeing him get picked straight at fullback. But good on him. If you're old enough, you're good enough, I think. So that's good to see him getting a spot there. McCulloch at 9.
All right, well, I did have a few issues with this when I first heard the news. I was like, hold on, McCulloch at 9.
Yep.
And then you were rattling off all the players that missed tackles in game 1, and you had Harry Grant, he missed 5.
Yep.
Tino missed 5. Joe Offengow missed 7, something like that. And that's all through the middle. And now they've brought in probably the best defensive hooker in the game at the moment. I think he's made the most tackles in the NRL so far. So I like that, and I like Ben Hunt on the bench. What they're trying to do, maybe, this is just my opinion, obviously weather the storm, and then bring on those dangerous players like your Ben Hunts and your David Feeders when the middles do get a little bit tired.
I think we had the exact same thought process there. When I first saw it, Andrew McCulloch at 9, I thought, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But then I think he's a very defensive half hooker. I said this last week that I don't think he's very creative. He's solid in defence, but lacks a little bit of creativity. But I think it could just be they want to soak up the pressure, let him soak up the pressure. He is good defensively. Strengthen up that middle a little bit, and then when there is time to be scored, the points need to be scored, you get Ben Hunt on, very creative hooker. You know, he's going to run, he's going to be eyes up all the time.
Well, with Ben Hunt, he's better when he's thinking run first.
Yep.
You saw him on the weekend. He had how many line breaks? 4 line breaks, and that was on like last tackle.
Yep.
When it's like you're supposed to like, that's when you usually kick.
So and he loves to kick.
He
does love to kick.
He does love to kick early and dead. But yeah, he looked great on the weekend when he decided to run first.
And that 14 jersey is a huge license to run. Like you're on the 14, you get to run the ball as much as you want, and that's when he's thinking run first. He's a quality player there. David Feeder dropped to the bench. Thoughts on that?
You know what? I don't like it. I'd rather him starting and playing the 80. I think you got to have him on the field as long as you can, because just any minute he can create something out of nothing.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you there. I think Jair has been very, very, very good off the bench for South. So I think him on the bench would have been the go. Francis Molo, I'm happy to see he make his debut.
Yeah, me too.
Now, the players that are gone for Queensland, Xavier Coates, Joe Offengowie, Jaden Sewer, Harry Grant and Brimson are both out through injury. Xavier Coates.
I wasn't happy about that, no.
It was a toss-up between me and Kyle Felt and him, I thought. Kyle Felt, right, I didn't think he was great getting out of our own end. But maybe that partnership there with Valentine Holmes gives him another berth here. And he's got a relationship with Paul Green. Paul Green knows what he can get out of Kyle Felt. Xavier Coates, really, he's been pretty poor.
But that's like Xavier Coates. He's rocks and diamonds. Like he'll have a bad game, then he'll come out and he'll be a superstar.
Well, Queensland can't afford rocks this week. They can't afford to have.
I guess Kyle Felt, he's a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I would have rather Xavier Coates.
Anyway, programming note for this weekend: we will not be running Wednesday. We're going to do a live watch along on Sunday. So me and Danny are going to be up here. We're going to be watching the game. Come over to YouTube. Come watch it with us. Chill out.
Have a few beers.
We're probably going to order some pizza and stuff. We're just going to talk about the game while we watch it. You'll get to see Denny's bias up close and personal.
No such thing.
Inside that 80 minutes, there are things that Denny says that just begs belief. Anyway, that's the Queensland Origin, New South Wales Origin chat. I'm so stoked for Reece Walsh. Regardless of what you think of how he's going to go, it's great to see a young bloke get an opportunity this early in his career. I hope he kills it. And anytime I get to see Tom Trbojevic play is a happy day for me.
Turbo. Tommy Bra, he's a G.
He's a G. Let's get into the games.
Radio. First game, you have the Bunnies. They defeat the Broncos 46-0.
Jesus.
Yeah. I thought the Broncos, they did all right the first 20 or so minutes. They were, they looked dangerous at times. That second half, though, totally different team. They were woeful. Nothing was doing for them.
They're terrible.
Yeah, I know. But something I thought was I like to see was Latrell after he went off.
Yep.
He came back on and he was playing in the middle of the field and looked like he was having a dig. Like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's like that. Latrell doesn't do that.
An interested Latrell too, like an invested Latrell, is a dangerous thing for the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
That's why I still have the Bunnies in a team that can win the comp, just because Latrell can beat any team on his day. I think He's that kind of player.
Yeah.
As for the Broncos, they're in such a hole. They're averaging 32 points against, something like that. There's rumours that some players are unhappy with the coach. Well, you know what? I think they need to have a look at himself, because it was Seabolt's problem last year. Now it's Kevin Walters' problem this year. I think it's the players' problem. I think their attitudes are rubbish. I thought Matt Lodge was good. On the weekend.
He was awesome.
He's going. He's out the door because they can't afford his contract, apparently.
Pardon me. So is he going... I heard talks he was off to the Warriors.
I don't know. I don't know where he's going. I know he has been told to go.
Yeah.
I thought Payne Haas was outstanding again. And when both their props are playing good footy and you still can't get on the back of that, they got massive problems. I don't want to single any player out because I think there's a bigger issue at the Broncos, but Alex Glenn was terrible on the weekend. He's the captain. He's the leader of that club. I know he's been a good player for a long time for the Broncos, and to be honest, I really like Alex Glenn, but he had 8 missed tackles on the weekend. He had 8 runs for 48 meters. That's the captain of the club. That's the person you're meant to get behind and the one that leads by example. That's just not good enough.
Yeah.
I thought that was terrible. And as for the Bunnies, they didn't even complete well. I think they completed under 70%, still racked up 46 points. So
yeah, well, with just going back to what you were talking about with Matt Lodge and Payne Haas, how often do you see, like, when the front rowers are dominating and they're making meters, how often do you see a team get flogged?
Never.
Never.
But I had a look. If you're talking about how many meters they made, I think Matt Lodge and Payne Haas both put on like over 150 meters. Yeah,
so surely Matt Lodge was close to 200.
I think they were right up there. Let's have a look at their meters because it was crazy. They were both killing it. And Payne Haas is so quality every week. I think Matty Lodge has been pretty good. So they ran for 176 and 161, both of them. It's not often you see your 2 front rowers, and they both play big minutes, dominate, and you still get run over.
Yeah, look at that. 90 post-contact meters for Payne Haas, 51 for Matt Lodge.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like they're the only two really...
having a go.
Yeah, having a go. I mean, Pangai Jr., he's like... If he shows up, yeah, he's good, but he shows up every second game.
You talked about rocks or diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
That's rocks or diamonds. We'll get into it when we talk about the Tigers, but he's not the answer for them either.
Yeah, definitely not. And Carmichael Hunt, I don't know why they brought him back. But between them, between Carmichael Hunt and
what's his name?
Tyson Gamble,
they
had 10 runs. Yeah. And you said before, Cody Walker,
22 runs.
22 runs just by himself. So yeah. Anyway, on to the next game. Sharks beat the Cowboys 26-24. A pretty controversial call towards the end of the game. Reece Robson gets done for a higher tackle around waist height.
Yeah.
Goes for 10. Really kills any chance of a comeback when you're down one man, and with these new rules.
The NRL come out and said today that was the wrong call, which what everyone knew on the night. It's not as black and white as if you make contact with the head, it's a sin bin. Yeah. It's just, that is not how the game has ever been played.
Yeah.
The guy was half a foot off the ground. If he tried to tackle him around the knees, he would have hit him in the head.
Well, he did.
So the NRL have come out and said that they will, going forward, they're going to be looking a little bit more at mitigating circumstances. Just a little bit of common sense there. Not so much if they slip, but if they're that far off the ground. Let's be honest. As for that, good on the Sharks. That's 4 in a row for them now. They've found their way into the top 8. I don't know how. I don't know where that's come from, but they've won 4 in a row. They now sit in 8th spot. Good for them. The Cowboys just give up too many points. Still 26 points against them. They just need to fix their defence. Good on them for getting themselves back into the game. I thought Val had a good game.
Yeah.
Kyle Felt scores the sneakiest tries I've ever seen in my life.
How about that, man? Just
that one where he just found a way to find the line, and then the other one where he just kind of snuck into the corner.
Just picked it up and just put it down. Just easy as that.
Yeah.
The easiest try he'll ever score.
I thought Will Chambers was terrible, by the way.
Yeah, mate. I don't know why he's back. Like, do they have the older centres? Like what? Dugan and Will Chambers?
They have some of the worst centres.
Oh, Jesse Rangman's good though.
Yeah.
He's a gun. Rightio, on to the next game. Panthers defeat the Roosters 38 points to 12. Roosters come out of the gates real hot, score 2 quick tries, and then another controversial sin bin. Takiao gets sent for 10 after Nathan Cleary slips into a tackle.
Yeah.
And then you said it, Panthers went on and scored 18 points while they were down
14.
again.
Yeah, 14 points.
14, sorry.
It was 12-4. And then they scored 14 points while there were 10 men down. Credit to the Panthers, they went on with it. So hard to stop a run of points in this league at the moment. Panthers were, I thought, always going to be too good for them with their players back and no Sam Walker. But the Roosters, to their credit, 12-0 after 13 minutes. And they're always next man up. There's never an excuse. Like Robinson didn't go in the press conference and say, oh, well, we've got some injuries. And they're always show up to play.
Yeah.
Never an excuse. I love watching the Roosters. Good on the Panthers. Brian Toho ran for 220 metres, which is actually down on his average, so he should pick that up. He averages 240, so have a go, And all their Origin players will be back in a camp this week.
Yeah, so it's good.
Nathan Cleary's on another level, I reckon. Absolute another level.
Who is he? Where'd he come from? The last 2 years.
Jesus Christ!
I think this is his third year.
Yeah, I think so.
I think his rookie year he was good, but this last year and this year, man, he is
everything in that team. He's everything.
Yeah,
he controls the tempo, he controls the energy. I can't express how much I like watching him play, just because he is great and he is by far the best halfback in the game, in the world right now.
He's probably got the best kicking game, and he's one of the better runners. I wouldn't say the best runner of the ball. I think Jerome Hughes. Yeah, is probably the best running half.
He's the best all round half. And his kicking game's second to none. But it's not only his kicking game; it's his kick selection all the time. It's spot on all the time.
Goal kicking, kick a goal.
Can kick a goal.
Anyway, enough about the Panthers.
My wife did say he's good looking too the other day, which I could not believe.
Katie reckons he's the ugliest bloke she's ever seen.
Well, Katie's got no idea. But Katie's dating you.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
Nice to defeat the Warriors 10 points to 6. That was a low blow.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a low blow. A low scoring game here. Conditions weren't too good. You were at this game.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed it.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. McDonald Jones Stadium's one of my favourite ones to go to. Put up a vlog of this game. A lot of people said I was punching. Yeah, couldn't believe that. Tori's the luckiest girl this side of Sydney, I reckon. Anyway, a lot of people told me this was a low game. They weren't there. I really, really enjoyed it. 10-6. I love low-scoring, gritty games.
Yeah.
It had a lot. It had pretty good attack, good defence. I think Reece Walsh's line break and then Brayley's cover tackle was outstanding.
I was listening to that on the radio, and I was thinking, oh, here we go, Reece Walsh has scored. And I hear, oh, what a tackle. I'm like, all right, who was it? And they're like, Brayley.
Unbelievable.
And I was like, hold on. But
unbelievable. Yeah. It looked like he was running in quicksand the last 10 metres. But the way the Reece Walsh attacked that ball to get away to, just outstanding. What's her name? Ewan Aiken, long range try as well. The Knights seal it late. I think there was a charge down on a field goal as well. Really, really quality stuff. I really liked it. I think Clifford's been told by Nathan Brown to run the ball more.
Well, he's playing 6 now.
Yeah.
So,
but he didn't have a lot of runs on the weekend, but it felt like every time he got the ball, he straightened up the attack. You know what I mean? Like he played a little bit like Kieran Foran used to play.
Okay,
like how he goes
take it to the line.
Yeah, goes forward first. That's how I got the feeling that he was trying to play anyway, which I think is a good sign for him. That he's come to the club and he's willing to take that on board, because that's definitely not his game.
Yeah.
But it's what they need from him right now. Pearce, obviously a big in for the Knights. They looked a lot better with him in the side. What do you make of the Warriors right now? That's probably a game they should have won.
It definitely is. There's a lot of games that they should have won that they just haven't been able to maybe just ice it off.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's down to. I did hear somewhere that Matt Lodge was going to the Warriors. I don't know how true that is.
That'd be a great signing with Adam Fanua-Blake as well.
Adam Fanua-Blake and Matt Lodge starting front rowers. They would do damage. And you know what? I think that they could do with another hard running forward. Get rid of Kane Evans, man. Like he's the reason that they lost. Out of marker.
Jesus.
So out of mark. So I think he was in one of the tackles. Out of marker. He's sliding right. So Tuala, is it Tuala?
Takes a scoot.
Does he take a scoot?
I don't know. I can't remember. But it's Tuala that goes through.
So what happens is he starts running sideways, and then he spots a little gap in between Kane Evans and whoever it was like A or B marker or defender or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just goes there. Kane Evans he's got to be the slowest bloke I've ever seen.
He is literally closer than I am to you right now.
Yeah.
To Tuala.
All he had to do was just grab the bloke.
Do anything.
Yeah, and he only played what?
Yeah, well, he didn't
low
play
minutes.
long. Yeah.
He played low minutes, so surely it couldn't have been because he was tired. That's just an effort play.
I actually thought he mustn't have been square or something. Like he must have been called out because it made no sense for him not to try and make the tackle there. Anyway, the Knights, I think they get tackled on that play. Mitchell Pearce threw an unders ball and hit Tuala, and then that's how they made the break.
Okay.
Yeah, so he didn't tackle him on the unders ball. That's what happened. And then they end up scoring in the corner. So good on the Knights. The Warriors, they're just so inconsistent. I still get the feeling that if they can get it all together, they can make a run. But they're just so inconsistent right now.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good side on paper. They got Roger, Reece Walsh. I mean, Adam Finnell-Blake's good. Tohu Harris.
Roger played a lot of fullback on the weekend, by the way. I was watching closely. And Reece Walsh, they were swapping in a lot. Reece Walsh was going to right wing.
Yeah, I heard that on the radio. They was saying maybe because he was bloody a bit buggered or something.
I don't know, but I seen Roger going there a lot. So maybe they're just trying to still work out that balance there. I still think Reece Walsh to 6.
Yeah. Surely. Righty, anyway, onto the Dragons beating the Raiders 22 points to 20. The Raiders blow another double point lead. I think it was 20 points to 8. I heard that the Raiders were a little bit skeptical on offering Matt Duffy a contract after his game of not on the weekend, but the week before. He had a bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
They had that new Sloan bloke.
I thought he played well.
I thought he played okay.
Yeah, no, I got that written here too. I thought he played alright. He looks like a confident young kid. Yeah. I think he hit a chip and chase, and Norman regathered there, and then they end up scoring off the back of that. Yeah. We've sat here so many times and talked about the Raiders and them blowing second half leads. I don't really know what else I can say about the Raiders. Yeah. Good on the Dragons. I don't think many people had them bouncing back here.
Well, I did not.
I still don't think they can do anything this season, but it's obvious that they're trying. They've told Norman to move on. They've told Duffy to move on. So he's who's the coach? Can never remember the coach's name.
I was going to say Anthony Griffin.
Yeah, it is Anthony Griffin.
Is he?
Yeah, it is.
You sure?
Yes.
Wasn't he the coach like a couple of years ago?
No, it is Anthony Griffin. You're right.
Okay.
No, don't make me question it because I'm pretty sure you're right.
Now you're making me question it.
No, you can see that he's got a clear plan. It is.
Okay.
He's got a clear plan, right? And they're trying to execute that. They're not going to win every game, but this is a good win for them at home.
Yeah, good win. I think the Raiders they need a half that can ice the game, that can control the game, like a good kicking game, like Sam Williams.
Sean Johnson.
That's what I've got written here.
Yeah,
I think Sean Johnson's going to be that guy. He you saw who'd they verse when they kicked that field goal? Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean,
can ice a game.
Can ice a game. There you go.
Yeah, I don't mind that. But they're gone at though. I just don't know with the Raiders. Are they making the semis next week? They might. No, not next week because there's no footy. The week after they might win. I'll come in here. Yeah, they're making the semis. I don't know. I don't know.
I think Sean Johnson is. They need to get him there. Anyway, on to one of the biggest scores I've ever seen.
I've never seen.
Storm defeat the Tigers 66 points to 16. Not much really to say about this game. Storm were up, 60-0 after 50 minutes?
Yeah, it was 60-0 after 50 minutes. I could not believe what I was watching.
Me neither. I stopped watching. Well, I don't think I was watching.
No, you said you were, and then you stopped.
I stopped because it was
just boring.
Yeah, it was 40-0 at halftime. I'm just like,
I find it boring too. No, but I was watching, and then we'll get to the Manly game because there's another big score in that one too.
Yeah.
But in the first half, they scored in the 2nd, 4th, 9th, 12th, 15th, 27th, and 37th minute. And then we got to halftime, and Michael Maguire, everyone's sitting there and they're going, what's he going to say? Like, he's going to blow up.
Yeah.
He's going to blow up. And then he gets into halftime and he goes into the team, talks to him for about 30 seconds, then pulls all the staff out and leaves him there. And I thought, this will get a reaction. This is good. Let the Tigers players lead their own like little fight here. And I didn't think they were going to win the game, obviously, but I thought maybe they let in only a couple tries in the next half. Well, that did not work because they let in 4 tries in the next 10 minutes after halftime. So, Michael Maguire, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what he does because he blows up at them. They don't react. Yeah. He lets them lead their own charge, lets the leaders talk. They don't react. How is it a personnel issue? Is it a Michael Maguire issue? What do you think?
I don't think it's a Michael Maguire issue. I think it's the personnel. I think that they're lacking like quality outside backs that can start off a set strong. Like Norfoluma, he's good for that.
Yep.
But then what you got? Tommy Solia. He's not good for that. Who's their other winger? I mean, they just picked up Kemba Marlowe.
Yeah.
I think
that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction.
James Roberts. He's not the guy to take the tough run, is he?
No, he's not.
No.
He'll go disappear when the tough gets going. Someone that I think would be, someone that could come into the squad next year, maybe Blake Ferguson. He's off contract with Parramatta at the end of the season.
A winner.
He is a winner.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best the best outside backs that, get you out of trouble.
And he will take a tough run. He's played Origin, played for Australia. He knows what it is to take a tough run. Oh yeah, that's not a bad shout.
He won't shy away from those kind of runs. And I think that a lot of those backs right now, I don't think they'd be willing to take those runs.
I think they got too many players that when the going gets tough, they're not interested in the game at all. The Joey Leilua, Luciano Leilua, Luke Brooks has showed that. James Roberts, not interested at all when the going gets tough.
Yeah.
I think someone that is interested in the game that when it gets tough and it is on the market, Dale Finucane.
Yeah.
Dale Finucane is I think he'd be worth his weight in gold for that side because he sets standards on and off the field.
Yeah.
And that's back to my point on Alex Glenn. Dale Finucane's going to come in the team and he's going to say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And then he'll go do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he'll set expectations that, I have to go with him because he's told us we're all going to do it. He's doing it. I'm not going to let him down.
Yeah.
Where I think Alex Glenn's a great leader for the club.
Yeah.
I think he's a great person. But he's obviously not backing up what is being said, is he?
No.
Just based on his performance.
Yeah. Another thing with Dale Finucane is you don't often see the Melbourne go after players. He was one of the players, so
yeah,
he's obviously got something about him that Craig Bellamy likes.
Yep.
And obviously he what's the word I'm looking for? He puts in a lot of effort. He's one of those effort players. Like, he's not a big bloke.
No matter what the score is, no matter what game it is.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like he could be playing against under 9s and he would just be snapping him in half just because he wants to win. He wants to win. No, but I think I heard Craig Bellamy say on the weekend, if he was the coach of any side, any representative side, Dale Finucane would be the first person he'd pick.
Oh, really?
Which is talk about one of the best coaches that ever coached the game. That's how big a rap is that for Dale Finucane.
Yeah. And as I said before, Storm, they don't go after, they develop a lot of their players.
Yeah.
And if the Storm are going after you, they obviously see something. There's obviously something about you.
So the Storm obviously still want to keep him. The Tigers will have to pay over to get him there. Every club will have to pay overs to get him there. But if there was ever a player that I think has earned the right for you to pay overs to get him there, it's Dale Finucane, I think.
And do you think if he comes in, he'd take the captaincy?
I reckon you give him the keys and you just let him go. So you have the captain and he leads everything. You get him in the room with you to work out what we're going to do, who we're going to recruit, what kind of standards we want at the club, and you let him lead. Because I feel like he not only will he set a good standard, he'll lead from example. And he might not win your games, but he's gonna bring good people to the club that are gonna have a dig. I think.
I like that. Yeah. No, good on you. Go. Yeah. Nice.
All right.
Anyway, Eels defeat the Doggies 36 points to 10. This was a danger game, as always.
As always.
It
felt like a danger game at half time.
It did. Down 10-6 at the half.
Jesus.
You said Parramatta had 9 errors in that first half.
Yeah.
I think that's why the Doggies were up. I was thinking, oh no, surely Para won't lose to the Doggies. Because I remember back in those, like, 10, 15 years ago, Parramatta versus the Dogs.
Yeah.
Man, they were always big games, like Fui versus Ben Hannett.
Yeah.
Man, they were the good game. The good old days.
Well, I was thinking, it just set the tone. For the first 5 minutes, he's had 2 errors in the first 5 minutes. It was good to see the tough Bulldogs back, though. We all know they don't have a lot of talent, right? They don't have a lot of talent. And they're probably not going to win a lot of games, but they can make it tough for you.
Yeah.
And I think Newcastle were like that a few years ago, where, yes, they weren't winning a lot of games, but people didn't like going to Newcastle because it was always going to be tough.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs can still do that now, and they can build like a good culture there, just where everyone's going to have a go. The Eels have to be beating these sides, and you can't give up 9 errors in the first half. If they're playing a top 4 side, a genuine top 4 side, they get smashed.
Like, if they verse a Storm on the weekend,
Exactly.
like, what's the score there?
Now they got their things together, their shit together. They got their shit together, and they end up having a go. And Clint Gutherson played good in the second half, I thought. And
The king,
yeah, he had a good second half, and they end up getting it done. But so they should.
Yeah.
This is going to be one that they mark up as a win and never think about it again. I just don't think they want to look at this game anymore.
Yeah, surely. As you said before with the Bulldogs, that they were like being a tough side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got written down here. I like what I'm seeing from them the last
Exactly.
few weeks. Like, they really put it to the Dragons last week, and and they showed some effort this week as well.
And that's all we can hope for from the Bulldogs. There is talent coming. They were never going to make the semis this year. No one thought they were going to make the semis.
No.
But they need to build a good foundation where they are tough to beat, and then when they do get the talent on the back of that, they'll trouble a lot of sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And on to the last game of the round.
This is a shocker.
Manly defeating the Titans 56 points to 24.
This is an absolute shocker.
Tale of two halves. Titans had most of the ball in the first half, then second half, insert Tommy Bra. How good is he?
Jesus Christ.
How good is he? He went off 3 tries, 3 try assists, 174 running metres, 6 tackle busts, 2 line breaks, 3 line break assists.
I'll tell you what, man. The Titans are probably happy to see the back of Tom Trbojevic because they've played him twice this year. That was his comeback game. He ended up dominating the first, and he dominated in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know where the Titans are at. What, they give up 48-0 in the second half?
Second half, yeah.
That's appalling. That is absolutely appalling. They completed... I think they didn't complete one set.
It was 33 of 34.
How hard is it to swing momentum in this game? It must just be impossible out there for players. Like, if you just get on the back foot, it's just all over. Now, at halftime, it was 24-8. The Titans were looking all right, but a couple of people messaged me because I was pretty firm that the Titans would be winning and covering the line.
The Titans would.
The Manly would be winning and covering the line, and I got a couple of messages going, man, the Titans are killing it, 24-8. And I said, look, not a lot has gone Manly's way in this half. They're down on the penalty count. They haven't had a lot of ball. And when they did have the ball, I think they only went down there in twice and come up with a result. So I was still pretty confident that Manly could turn it around if they got the ball. They ended up getting the ball and they didn't give it back.
Yeah, just rolling through Gold Coast defence.
Some of those tries down the left-hand side, just not first-grade defence, is it?
No. Well, man, there was some soft tries there, man.
They were really soft. Their right edge defence, Manly's left edge attack, like Garrick was just strolling over.
He didn't have to do nothing. He could just walk over and just.
How much money did Brad Parker cost you passing to Ruben Garrick late?
Oh, a couple hundred. Wasn't happy.
he could have just dived over himself.
Yeah, Brad Parker.
Anyway, the Titans, Cowboys, Broncos, all their defence is terrible.
Yeah.
And then if you throw the Tigers in there, lucky the Tigers have, I think they're into second worst defensively now, so the Cowboys get a little bit of a reprieve there, which is good for us.
Yeah.
Good for the boys.
Yeah, good for the boys.
Anyway, I went 7 of 8 on the weekend.
Oh, don't get into the tips.
I went 7 of 8. I didn't tip the Dragons.
No, I didn't tip the Dragons. I tipped the Warriors. Kane Evans messed me up there. I tipped the Raiders.
Kane Evans has been haunting you ever since Parramatta.
Man, I've never rated him. I think he's the worst player. He just forces offloads every single run, and he's soft defensively anyway. Who else did I tip? I tipped bloody Warriors.
You would have tipped Manly. Did you tip the Bulldogs? Did you end up going?
No.
The Eels?
No. I never tip against my team. So I tipped the Raiders, Warriors, and Cowboys.
Oh, you tipped the Cows. You did too.
Cowboys, and then bloody we get stitched up. Or your boys get stitched up in the night. Anyway,
guys, remember next week we will be on Sunday. Watch along. I think the game kicks off about 8. We're probably on there about 7:30. So no Wednesday show this week. We'll be on Sunday. Don't forget to go buy a beanie. MarkHughesFoundation.com. They're really good, really warm, really comfortable. Go get them, and also go check out all our socials: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Danny's got his own social.
Oh, TikTok.
You got things. Denny's got things in the works. Yeah. Just donate to Denny as well.
Please.
Donate to Denny. And just check it all out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week.